Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, friends. It's time once again to dive into that tense, terrifying, yet always terrific world of Rod Serling's Twilight Zone. This time with Season 2, Episode 9, The Trouble with Templeton. Can't wait to see it, friends, so wait no longer, we shall. If you could do me a quick favor though and hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and allows me to alert you next time it's time for the Twilight Zone or any of our sci-fi fare. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now. And what is now? Now it's time for The Trouble with Templeton, the 9th episode of the 2nd season of the one and only Twilight Zone. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go.
A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind.
I recorded this one the same day that I recorded Lateness of the Hour, so I'm going to be looking for any pop culture tent poles in this episode that have been brought forward in future properties. Everything leads to the Twilight Zone. Mr. Templeton, I presume. Oh, look at this. Everyone's having fun.
Has he been here before?
No, sir, he's new.
Ah. He's new too?
Yes, sir. Every hour on the hour.
Mrs. Templeton is not very discreet these days, is she?
Oh, that's his wife.
Perhaps she's waiting for the day when these won't do what they're designed to do. Perhaps I'm waiting for that day, too.
Every hour, wow.
When a man my age marries a woman her age, he gets exactly what he deserves.
Wow.
Old, and getting older every minute that we stand here speaking.
I feel that, buddy.
I've said it in most of my plays. But when a man achieves years, he achieves reason and contentment.
Playwright or actor, I wonder.
I shall cover up the years with makeup. And I shall stand in the right places and hope to say the right lines.
Hope to say the right lines, yep.
And the stage manager will see to it that I'm properly delivered to you, so that you can properly deliver me back here, so that I can go back there and do it all over again next night.
Yep.
All I'll want will be to go to bed, Marty. That's the best place for me. Bed, sleep, oblivion.
Now, sir, you shouldn't talk like that.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't love her anymore.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember when I did.
I don't remember when I did.
Laura.
Laura.
The freshest, most radiant creature God ever created. 18 when I married her, Marty. 25 when she died. You know, there are some moments in life that have an indescribable loveliness to them.
Isn't that the truth?
Do you understand that, Marty?
Yes, Mr. Templeton, I believe I do, sir. But
Don't distress yourself, old friend.
Old friend, I love it.
Mr. Booth Templeton, serious and successful star of over 30 Broadway plays.
Wow.
Yesterday and its memories is what he wants. And yesterday is what he'll get. In order not to be crushed, Mr. Booth Templeton will escape from his theater and his world and make his debut on another stage in another world that we call the Twilight Zone.
Thanks for the setup, Rod. We have a sympathetic protagonist. That's very rare for the Twilight Zone. Already enjoying this one.
Arthur Willis, directing.
No, you must be mistaken. Duff Meager's our director.
Was. Canned him last night.
What?
Not my racket, but I know what's good and what's bad as well as the next guy.
You don't get rid of a director in the middle of a run.
I don't actually know him. Mr.
I'm Sid Sperry. Remember?
The
my
money
is backing this.
Yeah.
Just so long as you don't forget your lines.
The talent and the money always get along. It's a constant in the theater.
Make no mistake about what we are here to do. And make no mistake about me. I will direct this play my way at all times.
The thing is, you're through rehearsals and into a run. The director really doesn't do anything anymore. Manage disputes, that's about it.
Some of us are young. Some of us are old.
Okay.
When I direct, there are no significant personalities in the cast of any play.
Okay.
3 significant dates in the life of a play. The first day of rehearsal,
Opening night,
opening night,
closing night.
closing night. When I call rehearsal for 12 o'clock, Templeton, I meant 12 o'clock for everyone, young and old.
Okay, well, if they haven't started rehearsals
Are
yet,
you
then
ready to work with us, Templeton?
Sure.
I asked you a question. I
No.
expect an answer. Answer me. Answer me, Templeton.
Terrible energy.
Come back here, Templeton. Booth, come back. Templeton. Templeton, come back here.
I'd run too, dude. The hell kind of energy is that? Stage doors are always so fun. Yeah, different. The Great Seed. 1927's big hit.
Barney Pfluger. Barney?
Yeah, how long's he been dead?
What year is this?
1927. Say, you're not trying to kid me, are you, Mr. Templeton?
Most assuredly I'm not.
Sure am.
Phoned and said for you to meet her at Freddie Iacchino's.
My wife? But Laura's dead.
Well, she's the best-looking ghost I ever saw, Mr. Templeton.
Love
no
it.
offense, of course.
None taken.
Where did you say she's waiting for me?
At Freddie Iacchino's, just round the corner.
Yeah, go with it, man. Go with it, buddy. Run, dude. What are you doing? Oh my God, we're halfway through it already. I say that literally every time. That's what I'm saying, man. Run, buddy, run. Look at this. I mean, period appropriate clothing, cars, storefronts, the Twilight Zone, everybody.
You're alive.
Sure. What'd you expect?
Because you're not.
Can't be too careful these days. All the time somebody's wanting a raid or something.
A little bit of a speakeasy.
No, nothing to eat tonight, Freddie. We're not staying very long.
Oh, Barney, you're a scream.
Barney Pfluger.
The same. To know him is to love it. Sit down, old man. I'll be right back.
Laura, darling.
Booth, my goodness. Come on, sit down.
So Pfluger was the director or the playwright, wasn't he?
Oh, Booth. How many times have I told you to take your makeup off before you come in here?
Makeup? Laura, darling, let's go someplace else. Somewhere where it's quieter, where there aren't so many people.
Why?
Well, I want to talk to you, Laura.
Yeah.
Oh, Laura, darling. I'm here. I don't know for how long or even how I got here or who put me here, but I'm here.
She seems very interested, buddy.
Oh, Booth, don't be dull.
Wow.
George, bring him one of these.
Well, I'd be glad to get to a cold tub. Now, Booth, will you tell me why on this glad green earth you're wearing an overcoat for on a night like this?
Can he feel the temperature, I wonder?
Oh, please, listen to me, won't you, Laura? Laura, something's happened. Try to understand. This isn't makeup. I've grown older, darling. In another world, for many lonely years, I've had only a memory of you to live on. Why, you were my one and only best friend.
Oh, I think we're going to find out something bad about them, buddy.
I have you back again. You're alive. You didn't die.
What happened to Barney?
It's just as if you never died. Either of you. Do understand, don't you? Oh, sure.
I'm not sure he does.
Laura, why are you so different?
Well, that's the way I am, Booth. That's the way it is.
Is this different from how you remember her? Or were you forgetting her?
You were my love. Everywhere, at all times. Why, we couldn't walk a street or sit in a restaurant without everybody knowing that we were in love.
Are you finished?
Did you forget, or is this a different version? This is awful.
You're a silly, Old fool of a man.
Well, stop pining over this one, buddy.
Stop! Stop!
Broke her beads, or pearls.
We don't want you here.
Go back to your shitty dancing, everybody. You don't have to be a part of this, bud. She can make a fool of herself by herself. What? That was one of the creepiest things they've done in the Twilight Zone. That was one of the creepiest things. I loved that. You're back.
Did it happen?
Yeah, you've got her, whatever that script was that she was fanning herself with.
What to do when Booth comes back? Into Booth, as Laura throws back her head and laughs too shrilly. You're a scream, Barney, a real...
What? Get to where you are.
Why don't you go back where you came from? We don't want you here. They were acting for me. They wanted me to go back to my own life and live it.
Go to the very end.
One question. Are you in or are you out?
I'm out. I don't like you. I don't like your energy. And the producer's an asshole. I'm out.
I am definitely in. And it is definitely Mr. Templeton. Especially to one so young as you.
Now, wait a minute.
Excuse me, Mr. Sperry, but I never allow anyone not directly connected with the production to attend my rehearsals. I insist upon that.
Just who do you think you are?
I'm the talent.
Run along.
You don't have one of these without me. There's always that moment. What came first, the money or the talent?
I've just had a most remarkable experience, young man. I couldn't possibly expect you to comprehend it, but I'm going to tell you about it anyway. Someday.
Someday.
You know, you were right. The first day of rehearsal is the most important date in the life of a play.
Mr. Booth Templeton, who shared with most human beings the hunger to recapture the past moments, the ones that soften with the years. But in his case, the characters of his past blocked him out and sent him back to his own time.
Blocked him out.
Mr. Booth Templeton, who had a round-trip ticket into the Twilight Zone.
All right, everybody, we just finished watching the 9th episode of Twilight Zone's 2nd season, The Trouble with Templeton, and the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everybody, we just finished The Trouble with Templeton, the 9th episode of the 2nd season of The Twilight Zone. This was a different construction, but now seeing it at the end, whenever they said they blocked him out of the past, I thought that was a really imaginative way to kind of address the pining for nostalgia from an actor, a board actor. Really interesting way to do this, you know, that there is, in your mind's eye, it's almost like this. In your mind's eye, everything is rosy about the past. You know, he was looking back on his lost love, his wife, Laura, who for those 7 years from 18 to 25, he believed to be the most magical, and he couldn't move past them. You know, he was stuck in as he told, what was it, Marty at the top? He was telling Marty, his butler, you know, that's basically where I am. I don't care what's going on anywhere else here. Take me to the theater. They'll take care of me while I'm there. Give you to me. They'll give me back to you. You'll bring me back here and put me to bed, and I'll do it all over again. And he was just going through the motions of life. He wasn't living. And I think that this was an interesting way to be able to approach an actor, someone who has been the veteran of, what did he say, 30 Broadway stage performances, which is incredible. And then, you know, to be able to kind of bring him back around to the remainder of his life. Not that his life was ending. We didn't think he was sick. He was taking those pills, though, once an hour? I can only assume that maybe a heart medication or even some type of sedative or something for his nerves. Potentially. We don't know exactly what it was. I mean, so he did have something going on, but it certainly didn't seem like it was terminal or it was incapacitating him. He was able to work. bit of a memory issue maybe that was going forward. He did say he had problems with names, specifically Sperry, but I think the best way to look at this is it was just age related, and the fondness and the rose colored lenses that he was putting on this time in the 20s with his lost love. But there was a way to get that back even from an actor. And I thought that was interesting. I saw her fanning herself with that, and I almost said, boy, that looks like a script. But I didn't, because I thought, well, this is probably is, because they're this close to the theater district. They probably, I thought then maybe it was a menu, and then I thought that was awful big to be a menu, it was a multi-page menu, which isn't completely out of the realm of possibility, but it seemed to be heftier than that. And so I like the idea, too, that they presented Laura in such a way, and Pfluger, too, who I'm going to have to go back and I'll see during editing, but Pfluger's name was on the playbill as well as the writer or director or something like that. Story by, I forget exactly what it was, but I'm not, and I can't remember, too, if we saw that name before he went back or during. It really doesn't matter, because he had fond memories of who he called his best buddy as well. And so in that kind of moment, he was so happy to be back. He was back here. He was in 27. It was, the height of what he believed to be his life, and everything after that had been not as grand and not as great. He peaked too soon, so to speak, in the play, and then had to ride the rest of it out for the denouement. But, it was interesting too, because both of them kind of treated him like an asshole. Laura, definitely. I mean, she was incredibly abrasive. She was incredibly rude. And I mean, obviously by design. I think it was, by design for whatever purpose, to kind of remove him from the idea that the past was perfect. But here's the problem with all of that. If the idea was to show Booth that the past wasn't as grand as he thought it was, or that there was more life to live, or he shouldn't pine for the past, because, it maybe, again, you just had a kind of a reality burger here that said that, things could have gone differently, or maybe you're misremembering, or maybe this. That's what I thought it was. Initially, I thought that, oh my God, he misremembered basically his entire love affair with Laura. She was actually awful, you know what I mean? And he kind of perpetuated that with his current wife, who obviously they were strongly hinting at was, having an affair on him, which he knew about. And so I was like, oh, okay, so maybe they're trying to tell him that, he's in this cycle that there was never really a good time. But we have to take that with a grain of salt, because this could have all been play acting. And he said, why are you were acting so differently? And so, but then again, Pfluger was also acting that way. And it was sort of just anything they could do to kind of repulse him from this moment in time. But boy, oh boy, friends, the moment of the episode was when he quit the speakeasy and they all stood up and everyone's face uniformly fell and they just stood there. And then she was there kind of like in mid spot. That was chilling to me. I have chills. That was such a well-directed and well-executed scene. Oh, my word. And to be very, very fair and to be very honest, that scene in and of itself made this one, from being not a mediocre by Twilight Zone standards, an average episode by Twilight Zone standards, and gave it a bit of a bump in my mind. And again, anytime I say something is average or mediocre, I always compare it to the Twilight Zone's other episodes. And we've just had some spectacular episodes. And by comparison, if you aren't one of the rarefied air pop culture phenomenon episodes, it's going to be average by Twilight Zone standards, but great by anybody else's standards, right? And I think what kept me from really making this one, it's not that it was a tired theme or anything like that. I just don't think that we had the resolution moment could have been more profound for Booth, where he really kind of decided that there was a lot of things in his entire life that really he was kind of flavoring to look a better way, or to give himself a better feel about the past and his future or present problems. But I had a great history. Right now sucks a little bit, but back then it was awesome. I just don't know if there was that much, because he had a substantial shift in his attitude, his presentation, the way he was kind of dealing with his own atmosphere and environment in the stage and in the theater. I'm not sure if it was as warranted as what he experienced would have led itself to be, but at the same time, I mean, it certainly wasn't a wildly inaccurate reaction to everything. And I do like the idea that we had a very, like I said at the top of the reaction, a very sympathetic protagonist. You know, Booth was not an asshole to anybody. He didn't have any vices, or, you know, not that makes you an asshole or anything, but he didn't have anything that could basically be construed as negative other than his like forgetfulness, which I thought lent himself to be even more sympathetic. So I'm certainly glad that it worked out for him. We don't see that all the time, even for our sympathetic protagonists. Usually they're caught up in some horrid shit. And what I really like about season 2, one of the things I like a lot about season 2 is Rod's involvement in everything. You know, Rod taking an active moment to introduce us to the episode, give us a good intro, and then have it's almost like now, where before he was narrating a story that he was removed from, he's narrating a story in which even his narration continues the tale a little bit. And I love that. And what I mean by that is, at the end of when we had his outro, he informed us at that point that Booth had a round trip ticket to the Twilight Zone. And he was blocked out by his past, which, you know, again, that's just the stage terminology for being removed from the scene. And so I thought that was all so very well done and did a really good job to kind of sum up what we were experiencing and dealing with. That, yeah, he did have a touch of the Twilight Zone. He had it enough where the Twilight Zone actually helped him a little bit, gave him the strength of purpose. The idea that he was still alive gave it more vigor and worth. And he was able to kind of take that both as a performer and as a human being and carry it forward because of his round trip ticket to the Twilight Zone. I say that for this, and I'll end on this. Normally, no matter if you're an asshole protagonist, you're done. You're in the Twilight Zone. See ya. But even our good protagonists, like our people that exhibit kindness or positive traits, not necessarily all the time like sickeningly kind or anything like that. I'm thinking of Roddy McDowall. You know, people are like all over or everywhere. I mean, he was a nice guy. He didn't deserve to be put in a zoo. I mean, there's a lot of times where we have sympathetic protagonists that just don't make it out of the episode. But I'm glad that Booth did. Every once in a while, you need to be reminded when you're watching The Twilight Zone, if everything ends in tragedy, you have to look at it and say, okay, well, what are we even rooting for? You know, what good is left in the world that we have to be rooting for or you know, championing when we're watching one of these things? It's good to have a Booth every once in a while to say, good, things worked out. But friends, yet another interesting exploration into Rod Serling's Twilight Zone. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and allows me to alert you next time it's time for the Twilight Zone or any of our sci-fi fare. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now. And now, unfortunately, it's time for us to take our round trip ticket out of the Twilight Zone. But normally around here, around the channel, we are the Greek chorus. And because we watch and help to spread the tale started by the storytellers and find audiences that haven't seen the Twilight Zone in this example and say, hey, you need to check out this show, we continue to spread and do the work of the narrative story and thus become a vitally important part of it. So normally our reward is to jump back into the episode at a favored scene. But my dear friends, normally doesn't apply to the Twilight Zone. For the Twilight Zone, we say goodbye as a result of the episode. And so, my friends, I simply say to you, we have the same stamped round trip ticket to the Twilight Zone. Where will you go back to? What events will you relive that maybe were flavored too beautifully in your mind? Something that might be holding you back, where the stark realization of black and white reality can show you that you're pining for a past that never existed. Or maybe it reinforces that it is indeed something to be remembered. I leave it to you, my friends. Until such time as we can continue this fantastic show, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.